What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at the dog coins, including Doge, Floki Inu, as well as Shiba Inu. Now, remember guys, last we left off, which was a couple of days ago, we actually made a video. You can see it right here. Let me just zoom in. Shiba Inu Dogecoin emergency update. I just want to show you guys what it was that we talked about here. So I said that there's a massive recovery by next week. This is on the 11th. Today is currently the 14th. So 3 days later, and you guys can see jumping to my Dogecoin analysis here, you can see what it was that I was drawing here. I'm just going to skip through. This is what we talked about: consolidation and then a big run to the upside here on Doge within its falling wedge fractal, bottoming support, then seeing a break. So we had 3 days of consolidation since then, and then we had a bullish break to the upside, or that's what we were anticipating. Well, looking at Doge right now, what is it that we did? We had 3 days of our consolidation, and then we had a big, massive pump. So very interesting how that formed exactly how it was. This is a very bullish signal. I'm very excited to talk about that. We also had Floki see some sort of big run to the upside here just a couple of days ago, which is exciting to talk about as well. So I'm very excited to see how these are all going to play out. We're looking for Shiba Inu too. Now we have to figure out how much higher we're going to be moving to. Is it going to be an immediate reversal to the downside here? We're going to have to figure this all out. So definitely make sure to stay tuned for that. If you guys have leveraged or traded into any of these cryptocurrencies or currently holding them, definitely stay tuned to the end of today's video. Otherwise, guys, today's video is brought to us by BUFFDOGE, the king of memes. Quite ironic that they wanted to sponsor today's episode, as I do literally have a BUFFDOGE here on my microphone that's been in pretty much all my videos for the past couple months here. But BUFFDOGE is a buff version of Dogecoin. BUFFDOGE is extremely hyper-deflationary, where each burn will double in its quantity to the previous burn. So more information about BUFFDOGE will be at the end of today's video. So definitely stay tuned for that, as it's kind of an interesting crypto. So, if you're interested in learning more, definitely stay tuned to the end. But with that being said, I have linked them down in the description if you'd like to check them out earlier. And definitely make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's jump into today's episode. So literally going back here, we put out a video on December 11th saying Shiba Inu Dogecoin emergency update, massive recovery by next week. This is what we were talking about. We expected this. You can see here is the Doge analysis that we pretty much had predicted here, that Doge was in a falling wedge pattern for quite some time now, since November 9th. And you can see we needed consolidation to usually retest this bottom support here on the purple band, and then break through, confirming a break above our downtrend here. And we should see a reversal right up to our moving averages, pretty much targeted right at that level here. So moving into Dogecoin here, you can see that's pretty much exactly what we did. So not only did we kind of use this as a support, we broke a little bit below it here, but ultimately we did have this downtrend that was forming on its relative strength indicator, pretty much suppressing it onto its oversold market here. Usually what's implied after that is big runs to the upside, big breaks and pops, as oversold usually is consistent with the fact that we break bullish outside of that to get back above into neutral areas here. And that's exactly what happened. So this is just the start to a pretty substantial run that's happening right now on Doge here. Quick refresh, you can see Doge is currently up 23%, which is incredible. This is a big opportunity. Not only that, you had opportunities to leverage this on BitYard, which you can see right here if you go to innovation area. They do offer Doge to leverage trade this cryptocurrency, which is really excited. Not only that, they also offer Shiba Inu, which is right here. So these are two possibilities of being able to leverage this cryptocurrency to the upside and capitalizing off the run. Now, the thing that we're going to try to talk about today is the Doge run over? Are we going to see a major reversal? What's going to happen here moving forward? So the first thing to look at here is, at least on our BitYard charts here, you can see we are retesting the 40-day moving average. Regardless of how this is playing out, the fact is Doge has been in a falling wedge pattern since November 9th here. And just finally today did we actually break through it, which is really good news. It means we did catch this kind of early here. So we have to see how today closes. If we decide to close the daily, if you haven't bought in already, above this bottom resistance here, above this falling wedge fractal, we actually close above this level, which it appears like we might do, but we do have 10 and a half hours left in today. But we close currently exactly where we are. We would ultimately start to see, or what I'm predicting to see, is a target reversal back up, most likely to 25 cents here. You could see ultimately the current run from where we broke out to top resistance would be about a 65 5% run. We hit a top of 39%, and we're currently at 27%. Now, if we wanted to talk about where we currently are, let's say we closed right where we open right now. Let's say we close right here and tomorrow we open at this. We would shoot up, I'm saying, at a conservative rate about 28%. Now, the reason I believe we're still going to continue up is because this falling wedge pattern needed to be broken, and we also retested bottom supports and we were oversold. So there's a good chance we should start to stem and climb right back to the upside here. The other thing that I'm noticing is it seems like multiple times when we retest this bottom support here on the purple band here, we tend to, or retest this price floor, we tend to reverse up. You can see it's happened on numerous occasions where I reverse up to the upside here. We haven't like hit it and then consolidated and then broken down, at least not yet. So I do believe that this is a pretty solid support level for Doge right now. The only way it could continue to head down is if we close back down below it, then maybe we'll start to spiral lower, but I don't think that's going to happen. The fact that we closed above here is a good sign for potential swings back up with the target probably at its moving average. Usually after retesting this resistance, we swing to its moving average here. It's usually good that we head back up to these levels here. So that's pretty much what I'm anticipating and expecting moving forward within the next couple of days of Doge, moving up to here within its price target in this level right here. So that's what I have in mind. Now, moving forward, Floki is definitely one of those interesting cryptos. We saw a small pump yesterday, which was quite surprising. I wasn't expecting that. This is the 12th. Today is the 14th, so 2 days ago. This is on the 4 hour. I'm going to jump to the daily here. You can see there was a small pump. We actually broke all the way back up to top resistance here, retesting right this level here at its Bollinger Band, the top of the Bollinger Band. What's interesting, and I'm just trying to figure something out here, and is we drew on going back to 2 days ago or 3 days ago in that video that we were forming a falling wedge fractal here. You can see it pretty much clear as day. If I just slightly tweak that up and slightly tweak this like this, you can see what the pattern is that was forming here. We can draw it in green just so you guys can see now a little bit better. So we had this downtrend and this bottom support all getting funneled into right here, and then we confirmed by closing above here very quickly a break back to the upside here. Problem is we consolidated back down. So the thing is this going to happen within Doge? I feel like that's the big question. Is Doge going to see the same exact thing? Well, Floki had a much smaller correction to the downside here. This is a much smaller falling wedge. The biggest thing started back in November here, around November 8th to the 4th here, in that range, 4th to the 8th here. We are still correcting lower, so it's an interesting run, I'd like to say. Floki usually follows Shib. Shib did not actually break bullish just yet. They're forming more of a consolidation pattern here. It seems like they're still continuing to head lower, so it's definitely going to be one of those more difficult cryptos to actually analyze and say what exactly is going to happen. Like, I'm trying to find some sort of top resistance, some sort of thing that we can just go off of, and it's definitely becoming more difficult to do that. Like, I can extend this up without a doubt and consider this maybe to be the top resistance besides what we were using originally, and then maybe this is the bottom support right here, and if I extend this out a little bit more, something along that line, maybe this is a bigger falling wedge pattern, and that could also continue to carry itself out within Floki Inu. If I draw it on the daily here, very similar to currently what's happening within Shiba here, but maybe something like this. I mean, we're going to have to use the tops in some regards, in some respect. There was a downtrend without a doubt here, but now we're forming something else. Like, something bigger is forming and arising on these cryptos. So I'm trying to find some sort of, support level, some sort of bottom resistance, something that we can use. And maybe it's something like this. Maybe this is the recovery move that we're forming. This is pretty much the best we're going to get here, where prices tend to bounce off this bottom support and this top resistance here consistently. I mean, we do have wicks that kind of confirm this top resistance here and the bottom support as well. So maybe we're forming a bigger pennant flag like this, continuing to head lower. There is a support that we can continue to draw out, which seems like Floki is continuing to use. So it seems like this is going to be longer. It appears like there's going to be more consolidation and more movement within both of these cryptocurrencies until we get some sort of definitive answer. Whether or not this is support, we could swing all the way back down to this purple band where we currently broke, in the future, but we have to see how exactly these are playing out. Regardless, there are falling wedges, and the same thing and the same, advice that I gave on when we should be buying into Doge also applies to Floki and also applies to SHIB. But now that we've adjusted these charts slightly, what I can base my use case off of when I'm going to buy in is breaking above this downtrend here. It's that consistent. It's that and this support here. So if we, start to rally up and we actually close the resistance level above this downtrend here, this lower high support, or this lower high resistance, my apologies, then there's a much bigger chance of correction. If we actually break above here close the daily above here, there's a good chance we'll start to swing up. That's pretty much what we have to look at. If we close below it, like we currently are trading inside of here, and we actually break down to the downside, close below this, there's a big chance of a drop. That's pretty much what we have to go off of. But there is a falling wedge pattern that is forming here on SHIB, on Floki, much clearer on Floki than SHIB here. And you can see, I'm going to delete these because I don't think it's necessary just yet until we start to maybe see a bigger run to the upside here. But you can see there is also a falling wedge fractal that's forming here on SHIB. There is a bottom downtrend here and a bottom or top resistance right here, and prices have continuously tried to break through, and we have not been able to do so. So we're going to use this downtrend. It aligns with the middle Bollinger Band here as well as its moving averages. If we can confirm closing above these, start to trade a little bit higher and actually close a daily above here, then I would be buying in and leveraging to the upside here, confirming a much bigger pennant flag is forming here. I do think it's coming. I do think we are going to be breaking these falling wedge patterns. They're also aligned with XRP's falling wedge, Ethereum's falling wedge, Bitcoin's falling wedge, as they've all consolidated back down to resistance, back down to support and battling its bottom support level here on the relative strength indicator. They're all forming these downtrends here. They all do have downtrends on their relative strength indicators, consistently. And you can see Doge actually managed to pop it. So that's what we're anticipating within these other cryptos here, like Shiba and Floki. So I do believe they're next to run. It's just a matter of time before we see some sort of definitive answer. It could swing us, maybe to December 18th now, but hopefully we can get that, that move earlier. Hopefully it takes today or tomorrow or the following, maybe to the 16th or the 15th. You can see the consolidation is pretty much slowed down. Volume has died off completely, and we've been pretty much trading on SHIB around the same price levels consistently. But this usually happens, and then we see a run here. So if we see a big pump or a pop now that we're intertwined here, we could very easily swing up to here. Floki could very easily break out of this and swing up to here. It's just a matter of time here before we get that answer and that decision. But the thing that you really have to understand and take in is that these falling wedges do have time limits, and they will eventually fill in the gap here, and we will finally get that decision that we're looking for. But that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video. I do want to talk more about BUFFDOGE with you. I want to give a huge shout out to BUFFDOGE for sponsoring today's episode. As with all crypto projects, please do your own research and never invest anything you can't afford to lose. Now, for the record, meme coins are different from more established cryptos like Ethereum and Bitcoin, and meme coins are different because major cryptos like Bitcoin and Ethereum were created to solve real problems, while meme coins obviously weren't. And although there are some instances like Dogecoin and Shiba Inu being seen as a medium of exchange, where this meme coin transcends its joke status and actually becomes a utility, that's kind of the difference that we're going to talk about today. Now, major cryptocurrencies were created to eventually be universally accepted as genuine decentralized currencies, and they're also designed to revolutionize entire industries. But unsurprisingly, there have been tons of pump and dump schemes where people have lost money after investing in some of these digital currencies, as well as plenty of people who actually got in on it and made a lot of money. But as I mentioned earlier, most meme coins are launched as a way to just make money. Now, they aren't actually created to serve a purpose, and they tend to go away just as fast as they come. But people investing in them are not doing so because they like the fundamentals. Therefore, you find many instances where a meme coin emerges, investors pile on, thus raising the price, and then they sell it shortly after to earn a profit. Therefore, investing in these meme tokens exposes you to that risk, and if that is understood, then I see no problem with investing in them. So guys, BUFFDOGE is a token running on Binance Smart Chain, and as you can see right here, that's literally the guy. And they also just got listed on CoinTiger for trading today. Not only that, staking is also available on their website too. But besides CoinTiger, they also are available on PancakeSwap as well as Hotbit. And Binance Smart Chain is best described as a blockchain that runs in parallel to the Binance chain as a means of utilizing Solidity-based smart contracts with much greater speed and efficiency than other blockchains. Now, BSC uses a token protocol developed by the Binance team called BEP20 and is also known for 5-second block speeds, much faster than Dogecoin with a 1-minute block speed. Now, launched in August 2021, BUFFDOGE is the buff version of Dogecoin, and it was born because of the most popular meme of Dogecoin. Now, BUFFDOGE is decentralized, and anyone can buy, sell, and transfer to other parties easily. And its mission is to introduce crypto to common people, to help fund animal shelters, and to care for the environment, as BUFFDOGE has cheaper gas fees and has a faster block speed since it's built on the BSC smart chain. Now, one of their goals is to bring BUFFDOGE to the moon and Mars, and compared to other tokens, BUFFDOGE has some unique characteristics. One of them is hyperdeflationary, where each burn will double in its quantity than the previous burn. And at one time in the future, Buff Dogecoin will burn 100% of its remaining supply, and in the end, the remaining supply becomes zero. Now, they believe Buff Dogecoin and Dogecoin complement each other, and as time proceeds, Dogecoin can insanely push Buff Dogecoin into its popularity and vice versa, where Buff Dogecoin can further increase the popularity of Doge. Now, Buff Doge has a lot of memes, and later it will be the king of all memes. When you can buy and hold Buff Doge, the holders gain more coins automatically added to their holder's wallet, and their project also has good security since they have been audited by CertiK. And although Buff Doge is a meme character, the project behind it seriously creates a better Earth, and some percentages of the developer's profit will be donated to animal shelters and environmental issues, such as forest reconstruction to prevent global warming. And lastly, Buff Doge has a secret project that they are launching that has something to do with NFTs and the metaverse. So guys, definitely make sure to check out the links in the description where you can find Buff Doge if you wanted to check them out. Otherwise, huge shout out to Buff Doge for sponsoring today's episode. As always, make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.